Yes, team, here we are. What's happening? This is the first episode of the road to Hong Kong. So this is my journey to qualifying to the HYROX World Championships this year. I don't know how this series is going to run. It's going to be in episodes, not necessarily going to be weekly, but it's just going to be key moments in my training and also trying to build a business alongside it, like being a self-employed coach, online and in person, and just the daily goings on of how that can affect me training either way, of like the stress of life and stuff that gets in the way, which brings me nicely onto today. So I did think today was going to be a interval run with no overload block and then into strength training later. I'm 2 days removed from DecaFit Manchester. My recovery from my Morpheus wasn't, so we use Morpheus, which is like a HRV tracking app, every morning. That recovery dictates what training I do in the day. If I'm not fully recovered, I'm not going to go into an intense session. So therefore today my recovery wasn't good, even though my HRV was high, my resting heart rate was low. I'm basically still adapting to the load that was put on it over the last couple of days. So I've had to change my training to a capacity day, which basically is going to be a easy run this morning, and then this afternoon it's going to be assault bike rounds with some movement standards in between as well, and then it's row, and I think it's 4k row and then burpees over rower. So I'll bring you along for that. As you can see on the Morpheus there, recovery 66%, which means I've got to change my training. There is no point trying to do an intense session if my nervous system isn't ready for an intense session, because that's going to throw me back even more. And we've got Southport 10k on Sunday, which I'm not going to taper in for or anything like that, but I do just want to make sure that I'm not risking putting my nervous system into shock, and then that could lead me to getting sick or injured. Let's go and get to the gym anyway, get this first session done. Then I've got a client at midday, then get the afternoon session, and then I've got shift this evening. So see you there. So that first session was faster just because it was easy, but here's my breakfast now. So 85 grams of Cocoa Pops, and then I've got 2 lots of Nutella on toast, so 4 slices of Jason's sourdough and some Nutella. But I'll have one of them now, and then I'll train my client, and I'll have another one about half an hour before my second session just to fuel it. So that's Monday done. I think that was about a 12-hour day, somewhere like that. It's currently 9 p.m. So I've just finished with my last client, came downstairs in the car park, and I'll drive home, have my tea, bed, and then I'm back in first client at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, but really good training day. Did that run session this morning, had the client in between, some food, then had a capacity session. Had to miss off a little bit of what I wanted to do. There was supposed to be a row afterwards, and unfortunately I just didn't have the time. And that's just something that, working and trying to build a business alongside trying to train 16 to 18 hours a week of HYROX, is sometimes there's parts that you do have to sacrifice on either end. So yeah, for me, I know that that wouldn't have gained, or by not doing it isn't going to lose me masses of fitness, but it's just something that I'll prioritize and maybe work better on my time management next week, and just really see the positives in what I've done. Because today, me wall balls, using a 9 kilo wall ball after using a 12 for the past few weeks, felt so good. Me wall balls feel like a strength, so I am happy with that. But yeah, let's go home, get some food, and then back here in 12 hours time. Currently Wednesday, and we're about to go into our first intense session of the week. So like I said the other day, Morpheus basically dictates my training, depending on what my HRV is doing, because being strong-willed and having a strong mind is great, But in reality, you need to know what's going on inside your body. Today's been the first day where my HRV and my recovery score on Morpheus is high enough for me to get an intense session. So yesterday I just did 90 minutes on the bike. I didn't film any of that. Today we have got some tempo running on the treadmill into some overload intervals with ski and wall ball, and then we've got a strength session in the afternoon. So I'll bring you along for all of that anyway, and you can kind of see what my intense days look like. This week will be 2 intense days. So today on Wednesday, tomorrow will be easy, and then Friday will be intense. Because of that 10k race on Sunday, I limit myself to never doing more than 3 intense sessions a week, because if you do, in reality, it's not intense. You're not recovered enough from the other intense days. If you are really pushing as hard as you can, then you need the day off in between, because yesterday, like, I was written off still from Saturday, from that race. Again, stuff that goes along with racing, the adrenaline, all things like that. So yeah, Wednesday, intensity day, tempo session, then strength. Let's go. We are back in the car about 8 and a bit hours later, and some days you just have those good days, and today was one of them. Training session this morning went so well. Really starting to get on top of my fuel endurance sessions now. Afterwards, I had a little bit of a wobble. Don't know if it was blood sugar or whatever, but yeah, felt a bit dizzy. Then programming for clients, getting updated by clients. They're all smashing it. Like, the achievements that they're making really fueled my second session, to see how hard they're working, you know, week in, week out, working around full-time jobs, working around families, having these big goals that are massive. You know, on social media nowadays, we see it where everyone runs a sub 3 hour marathon, everyone runs a sub 60 HYROX, and you don't understand the work it takes to even get to, you know, half of that, you know, just to run a marathon, just to complete a HYROX. So to see that, and to see these dedicated individuals smashing the program that obviously I'm delivering to them, but they have to be willing to do it. They have to be willing to put that work in, and to see that progress makes me so happy. And yeah, that fueled my second session. Dominated some sleds. Yeah, absolutely smashed it. Even though I haven't pushed sleds for a few weeks because I had a sore Achilles, yeah, no dramas getting back to it. And then strength went up on pretty much all my other lifts. I didn't film everything just because the gym was so busy. And I always said that, like, when I'm doing these vlogs, I want to make sure that I'm not taking away from the heart of the session and the bit that I enjoy. And sometimes it isn't about walking around getting the best angles. You know, when I'm on that leg press and I'm going to failure, to concentric failure, I don't want to be standing up in between when I've only got 40 seconds rest and walking around finding the best angle, so it looks all cinematic and stuff, you know. So that's the part that maybe I will show you, but for the most part it's just going to be some of these movements on the strength days where I've got long rest times in between, because that's what it's about. It's vlogging, you know. It's not like a cinematic experience at the moment. This is just me with my camera bringing you all on the journey. Not sure what training's going to look like tomorrow. It really depends on my HRV. Won't do 2 hard days back to back, so it's either going to be recovery or a capacity day. Just really depends on how I am in the morning. But apart from that, again, no physical clients in, so it'll just be online updates, check-ins, things like that. And then Friday, intense day. Saturday, recovery, ready for a race on Sunday. But I'll bring you along for it all anyway. Now time to get home, catch up with the wife, go on a nice evening walk, which we've been getting into the routine of, and just relax, ready for tomorrow. Right, it's Friday. We're about to head in for intensity session number 2 of the week, which is going to be 5x5 on the treadmill. I think it's 50 seconds rest in between and then some overload intervals afterwards. This is my last intensity session of the week, obviously because of the 10k race on Sunday. Today my recovery wasn't all the way up there, and I have been feeling a little bit just a little bit sore from training, to be honest. So I'm going to just do the 1 session today, miss the strength. Tomorrow will just be a shakeout run, easy walk, and then race on Sunday. I really want to give it to myself for this 10k to push my limits and see what I've got. So that's why it's just important for me to make sure that I'm fully recovered going into that race, which means just sacrificing some of that training tomorrow. So tomorrow's training volume will probably be a 20-minute shakeout run, just really testing out the carbon plated shoes that I'm going to be wearing, because I don't really run in carbons that much now. And then just a walk around the park with the wife, which will be lovely, again, just for that mental reset. So let's go into the gym, let's get this started, and let's see what I've got in the tank today. Fingers crossed it's a good session, because that sun always means it's going to be a good day. Standard Saturday walks, day before the 10k. I've got massive almond croissant. What have you got? Pan au chocolat. This is like pretty much every weekend now, every Saturday or Sunday. We come on a nice long walk around Southport Park. Grab this, walk a little bit further up to Lowett, get a coffee from the van there, and then just really enjoy ourselves, just de-stress after a busy week for both of us.
Spectators, if you can get through the swell of runners, we've got a wonderful viewing gallery. You can start the guys off. As we're getting you started, Southport 10k in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ruben! Have a wonderful race out there, guys. Come on, sprint runners, charging runners. Whatever your reason to be here, we'd like you to be here with us, doing it the only way. Southport Waterloo, well represented. Well done to Thomas, Adam and Henry.
Southport 10k done. I don't know what my actual time was. I think it was just under 37, but that was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. It was supposed to be like quite overcast today. As you can see now, it is just blazing sunshine, dry mouth for the entire thing, and but all in all a good race. Yeah, looking at my heart rate, I think my average heart rate was like 171, which is very, very high for me, but I'll have to look at my splits, because I think I got like, whatever my first 5k was, my second 5k was a lot slower, which just wasn't paced properly. But the goal for today was to just take off on sub 36 pace and then just see how far I could hold it for. And yeah, it just I think it's not me fitness, because I know my fitness is there at that pace. I think it is just my capacity to hold that pace for that long. But still, it's a PB. I think it's like, you know, like a 30 something second PB, which I've got to be happy about all in all, because it's just part of the journey. So next 10k race is nuts within like 8 weeks time, so I'll be looking to make an improvement on this, especially with the weather being a bit cooler. But yeah, now just to get back to the car, get changed out of these sweaty clothes, and head home and refuel.